Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stop. Right about there, it's perfect. Check this thing out. Yoo-hoo! Welcome back to D-Mop Garage. We are back and we're doing a new project. You guys haven't seen this. This is Black Betty and it's getting sandblasted. We've got Will back from Enviroblast and we're going to get this sucker all blasted up on the underneath of it. This is a 64 double door panel van, quite a rare car for Australia, and the factory colour was the same green as our ute actually, which is interesting. So it's got that turquoisey green colour, but anyway, it's actually not in bad condition at all, and we're going to start restoring this one back to a nice specimen. Not going to be ratty, it's going to be shiny, and you guys can come along on the journey as we do all the repairs. As you can tell, before it gets blasted, a lot of surface rust on it, but not too bad, and some holes, and quite a few holes, rails, no dog legs at the front there. Yeah, there's a bit of work here, front, the lamps. Anyway, that's what's going to happen. We're going to get this thing blasted up and you guys can watch a little bit of blasting getting done. There you go, folks, so you can see the blasting. Very nice. And then the engine bay going there as well. Alright, we'll bring you back in when we're all finished. Righto, boys and girls, here we go. She's all blasted. Well, what bits we needed, we've sprayed on the underneath of it. All in here's been done. Nice, and underneath, all underneath's been sandblasted. Anyway, all right fellas, so we're back at headquarters and here's the 64. We can have a better look at it and see what needs to be done. We have it still on the rotisserie, you can see here. Unfortunately, we couldn't quite get it in the right position to have the full hoops, but this is going to be good enough for us. So you can see inside, the floors are pretty good in this thing. We've got obviously a bit of a rot along the front here, which we're going to have to take care of. You know, there's a couple of little patches here. Side channels are pretty knackered. The dog legs here, they're gone. This is a bit of a weird patch here. Have a look at that. It's just sort of eaten through where the seatbelt mount is. The floors look pretty good. There's a little bit of holage going on here, but nothing that I don't think we can repair that. We can repair that quite easily, I think. The front's pretty good. Little bit of holes in the, and a little bit of damage here on the nose, which I'm not sure what we'll do there. We might even just replace that front section, I think, and instead of trying to, that's really been fun and games, that one. We'll see if we can save this, because the metal behind it's not too bad. So. And then let's have a look at, yeah, same deal. The dog leg there has to be replaced. Little bit of holage here in the floor, but I think we could probably save that if we can. And then same thing here, you can see water trapment has just gone and eaten this little section away between the two layers of metal. So we'll have to just add a little patch in that. This part of the floor here is pretty good actually. And I don't think there's really any holes. Yeah, a little bit of I think we probably can just patch a lot of this, which is good. And then a little bit of panel beading on that part needs to be done. And up along the top of this is actually really good. There's no rust in the gutters at all. You can see that we've got all the phosphoric acid over all of it. Now, a little bit of a patch panel there we've got to take care of. And this section here, which someone's gone and cut out, which is a bit interesting, but we have the replacement panel. This one's off a bay window, but this part here that we need is the part we need. So we're going to chop that out and weld that in. So what we'll do is we'll get this thing on its side and then we can have a better look underneath it. I think we're going to start with the underneath of this thing. Yeah, let's go from there. All right guys, so we've flipped it on its side and you can see here this is probably going to be our first repair to the chassis rail. You can see it's eaten away. This had belly pans on it because it is a double door. So we've got a little bit of sheet metal here that we're going to have to buzz off with the air chisel. The rest of it under here, we can see the dog legs were gone from the other side. The front under here looks really good condition. There's nothing there. Obviously the front valance is a bit Swiss cheese in a few spots. The other chassis rail is perfect. This one over on this side, so it obviously never got any water hanging around in that one. Factory weld. A lot of people think that they've been cut and welded together, but that is the factory weld. Fusion welded together. Outriggers, jacking points, center support, all that stuff always rusts out pretty quickly. That's the normal places they rust. Back here in the engine bay, it's looking pretty good. Nothing really, no rot here, which is great. Normally they go in the back in here, and there's nothing on that. Inside the engine bay, still a little bit of garnet in there. Not too bad at all. And we've got some replacement metal coming for this thing already. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we'll just start buzzing off all this excess belly pan material so we can clean this up and get stuck into that. All right guys, you can see we've just started using the air chisel, and we're just going to be grinding away, just trying to take off this little layer here, sharpen it up, and it takes it off a lot better than having it blunt. And then of course once we get to areas where we're going to have to drill out the spot welds, that's what we'll do, and then continue with the power chisel. Let's keep going.
A few moments later.
After a little bit of chopping around with the air chisel, you can see we've got the hole underneath cleaned off, and I've also just cleaned up this section of metal here. We're going to use a little piece here that I've got, which was an old rail, and we're going to basically graft it in like so, like that. We'll just chop that piece out and we can weld a new piece in. Let's do some chopping. So here we go. This is our little replacement section, which is the same thickness metal, and we're just going to basically, you can see where it's going to get welded in like that, and we've just got to pie cut out this other piece. Now obviously chopping that out without bracing would be an issue because things would start to move around, but we do have bracing up the top and underneath as well, so we're good to cut into this sucker. All right, let's start chopping and get this thing tacked in. Right, so you can see here we've just given it a tack all the way around. We'll come back through here with the TIG welder now and TIG this all up properly, and then at least that's one piece finished, and I reckon that'll probably do it for this episode. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, and you can check this build out. It's going to look something like this when it's finished. So I don't know if you guys have seen that one before, but that's the inspiration. So yeah, if that floats your boat, then we'll see you in the next week's episode. You.